Are you coming over here to talk to me? Where's my hug? I'm coming, Mr. Harold, I promise. You know I have to make my rounds. I'm almost to you. I'm coming to you next. Well, okay. This is usually the conversation I have with Mr. Harold every time I come into the nursing home to visit my grandmother. As I walk into the foyer of the nursing home, I see several residents. They're sitting down, they're talking to each other. Some are watching the TV, and others are just kind of staring off into the distance. I can't help but smile when I see Mr. Jacob. He is sitting over in a corner by himself, quiet as a mouse. But when somebody walks by, he hollers and screams until they jump and squeal. Needless to say, Mr. Jacob is not the most favorite resident there. I still remember one of my favorite residents though. Her name was Miss Jean. As soon as I would walk up to her, the tears would start flowing, and I haven't even said anything to her yet. She would grab my hands and she would say, thank you for talking to me today. This was one of the last conversations that I had with Miss Jean. I can still remember walking in there and seeing her and them telling me that she had just passed away. I can still remember the way that made me feel, as if it was one of my own family members. I love visiting every one of the residents at my grandmother's nursing home, and I hope to bring a little bit of joy to their lives. And not to mention, no doubt they bring the joy and happiness to my life, and the wonderful wisdom and knowledge that I learned from each and every one of them. So when is the last time you visited a family member or elderly person in a nursing home? You might hear of some of the following reasons why someone doesn't visit a family member. They could say, well, I don't like to see them that way, or they don't even know I'm there. They don't want me to leave, and they consider about their time. I said, I live in a different state. My job keeps me busy, or I'm just too tired when I get off of work. Every one of these are valid reasons, or should I say, excuses. I have heard on more than one occasion that no one comes and visits me since I've been here. I have also been told by staff that some family members, they just come and they drop off their loved ones and they never come back at all to visit them. Not only do they not visit them, they don't even make a phone call to see how they're doing. I try to spend extra time with these residents when I find out this happens with them. And it breaks my heart to know that there are no family members that coming or keeping in contact with them. So, did you know that there are over 1 million people living in nursing homes today, per Dr. Daniel Geyer at the Ohio State University Medical Center? So let's look at some statistics of ages in a nursing home. So around about 7% of residents were about 95 years old or older. 33% were 85 to 94 years old. And around 26% were 75 to 84 years old. 16% were 65 to 74 years old. And around about 15% of the residents in the nursing home were under the age of 65. Not every resident there that enters a nursing home plans, to spend the rest of their life there. They can only be there for rehabilitation purposes if they've gotten real sick or they've fallen and injured themselves. They can only be there, and the majority of these residents need help with everyday tasks of daily living. Here are a couple of them, 6 of them. Eating and preparing meals, getting dressed and bathing, helping with the restroom needs, in the dining hall where they eat, managing that, managing their medications, and moving around the residence and getting to doctor's appointments. I'm going to move on to a little bit more of a personal note. I visit my grandmother at the nursing home several times a week, not only to spend time with her, but to help with her personal affairs. This is Mr. Harold here on this side. This is my grandma, Miss Stella Folan. And the picture over here is Miss Anna Eakes, and she's playing bingo. I do all of her grocery shopping. I take care of all of her appointments. I manage her medications, and I take care of all of her insurance needs. So we also go out on different types of outings. We go to prayer meeting on every Tuesday, and sometimes we just drive around just to get out of the nursing home. One time we have drove around like 5 different places just to find one pair of shoes. We like to go out to eat to her favorite Mexican restaurant. I also like to participate with the activities in the nursing home with my grandmother. Her favorite thing to do is bingo, as you see Miss Anna over here playing bingo. She would get off the phone with you just so she can have time to roll up there to that elevator and go upstairs to play bingo. We will sit in the foyer and listen to a visitor play music and sing songs. I usually try to have lunch with her as much as I can. And there is no shortage of activities for them to participate in. And when you have meaningful activities for the resident, it contributes to their well-being and dignity. When you don't supply them with anything to do or any activities, it can lead to boredom. Their behavior starts to change and there will be outbursts. Activities boost their confidence and reduces apathy greatly. Sarah Crockett wrote a book titled Activities for Older People in Care Homes. And when you don't supply them with activities, she says, it's not very good on their health. In her book, activity is more about how to do things than what to do. For instance, you can set up half-done activities for them to come back to every now and then. You can talk about their emotions instead of bringing up memories from the past. All right, well, I'm going to switch gears again and tell you some benefits it has on your family member when you visit them. So visiting and spending time with your loved ones has huge benefits for their health and well-being. It allows you to check up on their health and their happiness to make sure they are not getting neglected or abused is very important. Staying connected with them will help your loved one from, being lonely and no stress, helping them make new memories that can be talked about in future visits, and just taking time out to visit them reminds you, I love you. In my interview with my grandmother, I asked her, how does it benefit you when I come and visit you? This was her response. It shows that you love us enough to come and visit me, and it makes me feel good. If you don't come, that would show you didn't love me. Older people need that. We need to know that you care about us. You help us do things that we can't do for ourselves. I need you to come just to talk to me, not just to go buy me the supplies that I need. Those were her exact words. My hope is today that I have persuaded you to find time and have given you just a few tips and have encouraged you to visit your family members or someone else's loved one in the nursing home and to bring a little joy to their lives. Thank you.